Auburn is headed to the Final Four once again.
Johnson goes to deny. Step back. Big play for the...
It's got you here.
Jones doesn't go. The tip by Broome. Up ahead, Harper.
Hello and welcome to this episode of War Eagle Weekly. Tonight we are here without Josh. He is sick and unable to record. We were hoping he would feel better today. That's why we delayed publishing the episode in case he could get on and record. He is unable to, but I am here. I am going to lock this down. We are getting ready to talk about the two games that we just finished and became the owners of the state of Michigan, essentially. But before we dive into this, don't forget to get your new Final Four gear from Fanatics. Use our affiliate link below. It helps us out quite a bit. We greatly appreciate everything you guys do. Cannot be more thankful than for what you guys do. However, let's jump right into this Michigan. Honestly, it was one of those things to where it felt rough. Let's just be honest. The first half was absolutely terrible. We thought, oh my gosh, this is how it's going to end. And we all were getting ready for the shoe to drop. And Trey Donaldson's out there making us all, hitting all of his shots to begin the game with. He comes out there and, says, "You're this tiny, you're too small." And after that, Denver Jones and Tahad Pettiford and anybody else that was guarding him absolutely put him on lock. And the only person we had to worry about after that was Danny Wolf, who absolutely went on a tear. He ended up there towards the end of the game, didn't do so hot, but finished the game with 20.6 rebounds and 1 block. Had a lot of turnovers there towards the end of the game, thanks to the defense that the guys were playing. But honestly, it just felt real. It felt like last year's Yale game. It just slowly seemed to slip away, and there was nothing we were going to. Honestly, it kind of started with Tahad Pettiford and Denver Jones. Denver Jones hit a couple of timely threes, and it just really worked out really well. And then Tahad Pettiford, it was hilarious because getting on to him after the play where Tahad went off of a screen and went off of a screen again and then hit the three, and Johni Broome was kind of upset with him. But after the game, Johni Broome said, I screwed up the play. I ran the wrong thing, and Tahad was getting on to me. So it just goes to show what their relationship is, and the fact that Johni Broome was okay with Tahad taking that shot and okay with Tahad, calling him on his shit, essentially. But Tahad Pettiford just took over this game and just told his team, we are not going down like this. And you know what? We didn't have this last year. We didn't have Tahad Pettiford coming off of the bench. We had another point guard. What was his name? He's terrible. Had an 8 game. Aiden Holloway, who is now sitting at home, Alabama Crimson Tide, but really did everything he could. He had 20 points. Johni Broome finished the game with 22. He had 20 points. Denver Jones had 20 points, and then Chad Baker-Mazara had 6 with Miles Kelly having 5. But Denver Jones just fantastic defense. I mean, up until or after the too small comment by Trey Donaldson, which again, hey, all the best of luck to him. I had no issues with him. He said all the right things leading up to the game, but in the game, he started feeling himself a little too much, and Denver Jones put that on lock. And there's a reason why Denver Jones is considered one of the best defensive point guards or guards in general in the country, because Trey Donaldson had 4 turnovers. Let me see here. Trey Donaldson had 4 turnovers at the end of the game. It really came down, in my opinion, to the defense that Johni Broome and Dylan Cardwell played on Golden, because it looked like they were okay with Danny Wolf getting his. It looked like they were okay with Danny Wolf giving him those long shots, and Danny Wolf was making them. To his credit, he was making those long shots, but they were giving him a lot more space than I really wanted during the game. But they locked down Golden up until the close to the end of the second half. Golden it was because of what Dylan Cardwell and Johni Broome were doing to this guy. They put him absolutely on lockdown. Auburn ends the game, or not ends. Auburn goes on a 34-8 run to put an end to the Michigan Wolverines. And it just goes to show that when this team locks down and gets laser focused, it's going to be very tough to beat them, because outside of Denver Jones and Todd Pettiford, we weren't having a great night shooting, because even Johni Broome missed quite a few shots at the end of that Michigan game. And Bruce Pearl actually, after the game at the press conference, actually joked that Johni Broome had a triple-double because he missed so many shots. Johni Broome was 9 of 21, but he could not be stopped on the boards. He had 9 offensive rebounds, almost had a double-double off of just offensive rebounds. And kudos to him, because this team, there's been times this year where we have not looked like we wanted to rebound. And Johni Broome and the rest of the team went into this saying, you're not going to out-rebound us. We are going to not let those Dylan Cardwell also finished with 9 boards. Miles Kelly, he's been terrible shooting the ball, but has been absolutely tearing it up on the offense, or on the rebounds and the defensive rebound boards. Chaney Johnson finishing with 5 rebounds. Again, we out-rebounded Michigan 48-33, so they put a real emphasis on this. Now, we go in and we're going to be we played Michigan State. I was a little bit less worried about this game than I was the Michigan game. But Tom Izzo is an amazing coach. All the stats, I didn't even realize, heading into the game, that Tom Izzo is 10-0 against the SEC in the NCAA tournament, and also 8-2 in the Elite Eight. The man does not lose against the SEC, and he does not lose in the Elite Eight. And his connection with his team, it really started to worry me right before the game. And honestly, they kept it close. Auburn went on a run. It's a man on a mission. Could not miss. He made his first 6 field goals. And after that, it kind of looked like we went away from it. I don't know why we went away from that. Michigan State started defending it a little bit better. So, yeah, maybe there was that. But we went on a nice run, and we extended it. It was like 20-something to 8 or something like that. But honestly, it felt real good. It felt like we were going to handle business. Michigan State fought back. All the credit in the world to them, because their center, what was his, Kohler, dude can play offense. Defensively, he didn't have an answer for Johni Broome, but offensively, he put it together. He finished the game with 17 points, had 11 rebounds, most of them on the defensive end, but he had 3 offensive rebounds. But all in all, this Michigan State team did not go away. There was not one point in this game where Auburn fans were comfortable after that first stretch that we had. The Michigan State fans really fought hard, and they did not give up in this game whatsoever. Then things were starting to look good. We kept them at arm's length with a 10-point lead. And then all of a sudden, Johni Broome gets hurt, and he's got his elbow. Everyone's talking about his wrist, his knee, hyperextended his elbow from the looks of it. And he left the game, and my brother and I, we just text each other, and we were both we were so down. It felt terrible, but the team responded. They kept Michigan State at an arm's length. Chaney Johnson came in and absolutely killed it, did a phenomenal job filling in. As soon as Johni Broome left the game, I think Chaney Johnson actually, Spartans, it's not going to get any easier for you. I'm still here. I got this. And he absolutely did a fantastic job. Dylan Cardwell did a phenomenal job. But once again, it came down to Todd Pettiford just playing really well and hitting some good baskets there towards the end of the game. He finished the game with only 10 points and on 4 of 12 shooting, just a bad night shooting. But then all of a sudden, when all seemed lost, we were still winning. They cut it to, I think they cut it to 5. Michigan State did. And everything started feeling a little, I was worried. Let's just be honest. I was worried. But all of a sudden, Johni Broome comes in and gets fed the ball and just drains a three. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can see the picture I have here. He's got his the rest of the game. He kind of had it hanging, never really did too much with it, so it clearly was hurting him. But do talk about clutch. And Johni Broome finished 2 for 2 from the 3-point line. Hit one early in the first half, and then that one after coming back from the injury, and just. It set the tone for the Spartans and let them know, hey, you can't slack on me. You have to still defend me. And thank goodness Johni Broome is left-handed, and so he was able to really get the shot up there the way that he needed. A miraculous game. It felt up until probably the 15-second mark was I not worried about this game, because for some reason we could not inbound the ball to save our lives. I don't know what happened there. I don't know why we kept getting trapped. I don't know what happened with this team. Did they lose focus all of a sudden or something? I don't know. They withstood that barrage. Michigan State started hitting everything from behind the arc. Everything. If not for how hot they got shooting in the last minute of the game, this could have been a 15-point blowout lead. Miles Kelly, once again, 6 rebounds, only finished with 8 points, had 3 personal fouls, no turnovers, 1 steal. He plays such great defense and is so engaged in the game, even when he's not shooting. You can't say enough good things about what Miles Kelly has done, even during this shooting slump. He is a special player, and Auburn fans, even with him having this slump shooting the ball, I hope you appreciate what he has done to help this team, because if he's not out there rebounding and fighting for rebounds and giving it his all on the defensive end, we're in real trouble in a number of these games. And so, Miles Kelly, kudos to you, man. If you see this, here's one fan that from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate it, because without you, we're not getting to the Final Four. So we're headed to the Final Four. Johni Broome is injured. There towards his arm, or I'm sorry, not end of the game. At the end of the game, his arm was bandaged up, and they put padding on it. It was quite a bit. You'll see it in some of the later photos of him cutting down the nets. And but is this something that we need to really be worried about? And had he not come in and drained that 3, I think we would be. I'm sure yesterday he is feeling it right now. I bet you that elbow hurts. I don't know if any of you have overextended your elbow, and if that's the case, it hurts. Hyperextending your knee also is a killer. So I'm sure he's in so much pain, but that dude better be rest up in bed, not doing anything with his body, at least until Thursday, hopefully. And then he can start warming it back up, because heading into the Florida game, because we need him. Any other team, well, okay, that's wrong. There's 4 teams left, and all 4 have great big men. If it was Houston, I'd be a little bit less worried, but it's Florida, and Florida has 2 big guys, and then 2 that come off the bench that I'm really worried about. And Johni Broome, hopefully he's absolutely, able to go 100% in the Florida game, because we need him to be engaged, unlike he was last time. But that injury, it looked worse than probably what it was. I'm glad that the x-rays were negative. You saw him come off the court and he says, I'm done. And he tells one of his other teammates, I'm done. And he goes to the locker room, or before he goes to the locker room, his parents come down and he's talking to them, and his mom is crying, which if she's anything like my mom, she cries over everything. But it did not look good. It looked like Auburn's season hanged in the balance, to be perfectly honest. Maybe, we finished the Michigan State game and we don't have to worry about it, but to win the championship without the National Player of the Year, because this game right here proved he deserves to be the National Player of the Year. I know he had a pretty off couple of games here in the tournament, but Johni Broome has just done it night in, night out, all season long for every single one of Auburn's 32 wins. And we need him to be that player for this Florida game. So now the other thing that I am worried about is is the shooting woes, because even Todd Pettiford and Denver Jones had some bad shooting performances in that Michigan State game, and maybe it was their defense, but it looked like they had a couple of open shots. Miles Kelly has just been dreadful. And again, maybe it's been the pressure of the tournament. I'm really concerned with his offensive game, because once again, yes, we need him on the defensive end and handle business defensively and rebounding, but we need that shot making back. We need him to have a big game, because again, Florida is not an easy team. Now, we have seen Florida almost lose to UConn, and then we saw them almost lose to Texas Tech. Auburn is a better team than UConn. Auburn is a better team than Texas Tech. That's the reason why we are in the Final Four. But if you think Florida is not going to be close to playing their A game, then you're sorely mistaken, because Florida for the last 3 games has not been playing their A game. And maybe they're going to continue to be in a slump and not play their best, and Auburn will be able to handle business easily. It is worrying me. In the Michigan State game, we shot 28% from behind the arc. In the Michigan game, what was our percentage there in the Michigan game? Let's take a look. I'm pulling that up. I closed out the Michigan stats already. I should not have done that. I should have known that I was going to come. Earned shots. Let's see here. 28% from behind the arc in the Michigan game as well. So I'm really concerned. Our shooting has to get better. And if we're not hitting shots against Florida, it may be a long, long day. But before we get to that Florida game, let's talk about the fact that we are headed to the Final Four again, second time in 6 years. The job that Bruce Pearl has done leading this team and leading this program to 2 Final Fours in 6 years just speaks volume for the coach that he is and his entire coaching staff. He talked about it after the game. He has assistant coaches that have been there since the beginning. He has players that have just bought in and could not care about how many minutes they are getting, and just has 100% bought into the system. And so absolutely fantastic. You love to see the team celebrating this and getting to the Final Four, especially after exiting after the first round last year. They thought that they were a lot better team than they were last year. They thought that they could be in this position last year. And so you know that was going through their mind. They have been fighting for and have been working for. And let's just be honest. Again, I give a lot of credit to the coaching staff and Bruce Pearl, but let's give it up for Dylan Cardwell, because he talked to the team after the Alabama State game. They had 2 player-only meetings after the Alabama State game, and it's Dylan Cardwell, is the heart and soul of this team, and just really has played like the best player on defense since we had that scare against Alabama State in the first half. I mean, honestly, we finished the game really well, but Cardwell has been locked in, laser focused for this tournament, and has really been the captain of this team. And you can tell that he just loves Auburn so much and has given so much of himself for Auburn. And so absolutely, ecstatic of what he's done. Johni Broome cutting down the nets. If you look at his elbow, you can tell that it's wrapped up and they've got it padded. So hopefully he's good. But Johni Broome has been here for 3 years and has just gotten better and better every year. The move to the 4 and letting Dylan Cardwell be at the 5, it was a great move by the coaching staff. Once again, this coaching staff has just absolutely positively killed it for this program and has just done a phenomenal job. I don't think anybody can argue that. And heading into the season, a lot of fans were talking about the fact that Bruce Pearl hasn't gotten out of the first weekend prior to that 2019. It's his Achilles heel. Nobody's going to talk about that now. And so we got over that hump. We don't have to worry about that. And so coming up on the 5th of April, so this Saturday, we are going to be playing the Florida Gators in San Antonio. Florida is 34-4, and that game's going to be yes. I'm worried. I'm worried. Any other team than Florida, I'd feel a lot better. But Florida just they waxed us when we played at Auburn. They beat us in the first game, 90-81. They had 5 players with double digits, almost 6. One of their players had 9 points. They out-rebounded Auburn. No, they didn't. They didn't out-rebound us. It was 40-40. But Broome kind of checked out in that game. Didn't seem like he wanted to be there. I don't think we're going to get that Johni Broome. And that Johni Broome finished with 18 points and 11 rebounds and 2 blocks. So he still was engaged enough, but it just did not feel like the normal Johni Broome that we're used to. Auburn, this game, man, I'm trying to be optimistic. If anybody knows me, they know, or if you've been a fan of this channel for a while now, you know that I'm a pessimist. And this Florida team definitely worries me. But Auburn is starting to play some of its best basketball that we've seen in a while. I think it's well within them. Our guards have been shooting, or the whole team has been kind of shooting lacklusterly. So hopefully we're due to turn it on, and we have it for these next 2 games, because Florida is going to come ready to play. Todd Golden, it's been widely publicized. He started out as an assistant on this Auburn basketball team when Bruce Pearl first got hired. He was the director of basketball operations, and outside of some of the allegations, he has been a phenomenal coach. I don't know much about the allegations, so I'm not going to speak for it. But on the court, coach, he makes great adjustments. This team is built like a Auburn team. They love putting pressure on the opposing team. They play big. They have big men. They have big guards. They love shooting the 3 ball. They love playing defense, and it's going to be a tough game for Auburn. But I think this team can do it. Do not get me wrong. I think this team can go out there and can win this game. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. I am going to probably be sick to my stomach coming into this game, and probably during the whole game I'm just going to feel real sick to my stomach. But let's all we don't have to worry about Alabama in the national title game, because I was more worried about that than anything else. So after the Florida game, though, we are then headed to the final. It's hard to imagine anyone other than Duke. So hopefully these next 2 games is Auburn's revenge tour. Duke in the national title game. We've already beat Houston, so you got to feel pretty confident if they somehow pull off the upset against Duke. But first, we have to take care of business against Florida. I have faith that we can do it. I'm just nervous. So, but guys, once again, if you are looking to get some of this Final Four gear, I know I am, use that affiliate link below. It helps us out quite a bit if you are able to go through them. And honestly, I will say this for Josh, because I know he is going to be watching this episode. War damn Eagle, baby. We're going to the Final Four. Let's finish strong.
Johnson goes to deny. Step back. Big play.
It's got you here.
Jones doesn't go. The tip by Broome.